Do you think that there are enough of the right kinds of environmental leaders out there today?
Oh, yeah. You look at Van Jones. I am so upset about what the White House did. You know, let Glenn Beck do that. You know, that just makes me, I just can't even believe that happened. But Van Jones is a great leader. I think he's done a lot of good stuff. He continues to do a lot of good stuff and will be, hopefully, the EPA administrator or Secretary of Energy one day.
This is a little bit of a variation on the same theme, but there are some people who believe that the environmental problems on the planet are unfixable. Are you one of them?
Nope. They're very fixable, and we know how to fix them. But it's about greed right now. That's why we can't fix them, you know. And it's about money, it's about profits, it's about allowing those who want to just make money off of degrading the planet. Just letting them, you know, run the show. And we got to stop that.
Your book. In your recent book, Renegade for Peace and Justice, you wrote that, quote, "I was taught that if I witnessed an injustice, then I had no choice but to stand and be counted," end quote. Do you have the sense that some of the injustices perpetrated on our planet are environmental injustices? If so, what are they, and have you taken action? And of course, you talked about the environmental justice issues already, but is there anything you want to add to that?
Well, I think part of the political struggle that's wrong are the kind of lies that are coming forward that try to gloss over this as not being an issue. And I think that's really unjust. It's unfair because they're not giving the right information to people to be able to make the decisions about what they have to do in their daily lives, you know, to use renewable energy, you know, to make their houses energy efficient, you know, to do all things that we have to do. And so, you know, I think, you know, the environmental injustices that I spoke of, there are many more, but I think the unjust kind of policies that are in place right now and trying to shatter those so that they become correct and just for everyone and for the planet is really part of the struggle that we have to mount in the movement in our fight for environmental justice and climate change.
Right. And in some level, some of those injustices are also self-perpetuating. They're based on greed and profit. They will continue to go.
They will continue to. That's right.
There's a certain amount of inertia in that sense. Yeah. Also in your book, you refer to the dignity and power of Gandhi's and Rosa Parks' actions. Do you have the sense that today's world contains people able to confer the same dignity and power on environmental issues? And if so, who are they? You've spoken about Van Jones.
Yeah, well, they're all the young people of the world. I mean, I have seen an incredible movement of young people. And I think the Barack Obama campaign showed that young people really do have that power and that serenity about the planet and that understanding that we have to do something. It's hard to identify one or two individuals. I mean, of course, in my district, we have a lot of people who are doing this. Margaret Gordon, for one. She's unbelievable. And the mayor, rightfully so, appointed her to the Port of Oakland Commission. She comes from West Oakland that I talked about earlier, where the truckers, you know, have been idling, you know, park their trucks, they idle, you know, the emissions have caused huge amounts of asthma and lung cancer, what have you. Still, I mean, this is going on as we speak. And she has asthma. Her family, they have all of the diseases that come from living in that community. Well, rather than just try to get well herself or to do her own thing, she used her experiences and her family's experiences to really be a strong advocate in the community to do some of the work that has to be done. And now she's on the Port of Oakland Commission, which is really deep. You know, it's really great dealing with all of it from that level. What was the woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize for Environmental Preservation? Wangari Maathai. We actually, a woman from Kenya, African woman, she planted trees all over Africa. She came here to Washington, D.C., and we planted a tree with her in her honor on the Capitol grounds. It's a beautiful tree. I think it was called an African rain tree, and it's growing right in front of the Capitol.
That's beautiful.
You know. yes. So
there's leaders everywhere.
there's leaders everywhere, but there's so many young people who are leaders that I have a lot. That gives me, again, going back to our question about having hope, really have a lot of hope because of young people and them getting it.
Can you talk about what you think are some of the misconceptions that are perpetuated out there today around environmental or climate issues?
Well, one is I think people don't believe that if they drive an energy-efficient car, they can help reduce the emissions that are in the environment. They don't really believe that. I do have a hybrid Escape, and I love it. I feel good. I'm driving it. I think I'm helping, with in some ways, in terms of climate change, helping to stop what's taking place in terms of global warming. And I think a lot of people still don't believe it. I don't think they believe that using energy-efficient light bulbs will help not only reduce their energy costs, but will help really, preserve the environment and help with global warming. I just don't think people yet, for the most part, really believe that the little things they can do, weatherizing their homes. I have double pane windows with this argon gas in between. I have a lot of windows at my house, and even when my family is there full time, my energy bills are, I can't even tell you how much they are because they're very low. And I stay cold. And so, but it works, and I know it. So I don't think people yet really believe that the little things that you can do really do help with climate change. And so I think we have to really move forward to try to educate people more about that.
But you personally are not thrown by having to make the effort.
No, not at all. I think it's the right thing to do. All my kids do. It's getting even to the point now where all this paper, I can't stand it. It's like, after I shred or tear up paper, I say, now how can I recycle this paper? What can I do with it? Maybe I'll make a purse out of it. But I'm just saying, it's just so much waste that I think can be used to do things that would help with our energy efficiency, consumption in terms of energy.
I noticed that the cafeterias here have gone to compostable plates and cups and silverware and so forth.
That's right. And I was on Ledge Branch when we did all of this. I was vice chair of Ledge Branch subcommittee of the Appropriations Committee. And we were able to convince the architect of the Capitol to put bamboo on some of the floors. I have bamboo in my house. We were able to do that. So these little things really make a big difference, but I don't think we have critical mass yet in terms of believing.